Hello everyone, welcome to Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services. It's a video on daily news and editorial analysis, which I'll be covering from the Hindu and Indian Express. The important news and editorial that would be relevant for the preparation of civil services examination will be discussed in this session. Let's get started with the news topic list. Today is 20th of July. The first important news, that is the takeaway from the NATO Summit. The recently held NATO Summit has some of the important takeaways in terms of the global order and specifically for country like Ukraine. We'll see the detail about this. Second, that is Henley Passport Index 2023. We'll see the performance of India. Third, that is rules related to retirement benefits for the All India services, specifically IAS, IPS and Indian Forest Services. Second last, that is status of nursing colleges district across India. This is a detailed report that has been published by the ministry. And the last is an editorial, a job and career right that disabled cannot be denied. Apart from the news and editorial discussion, at the end of this video, there will be MCQ based questions. These questions will be based on current affairs that will help you for the upcoming prelims examination. So without any further ado, let's get started. And before I begin this session, if you're new to our channel, do not forget to subscribe Apti Plus Academy for Civil Services on YouTube. If you like this video, if you find this video informative and helpful, do hit that like button. Starting the session, the first news, that is the NATO takeaways with the recent summits that has been there. Important for Gender Studies Paper 2, that is bilateral regional grouping and agreement involving India and affecting India's interest can also be related, but this is mostly concerning the part of bilateral, regional and global grouping. So I've already made a discussion about the NATO recent summit. So this is a follow-up of a summit that took place in Madrid for 2022. So ये पहले की summit है जो 22 में conduct की गई थी और इस बार की जो summit है that was there in a Vilnius Summit. This is called Vilnius Summit, the latest one, which was held at 11th and 12th of July, and that appeared to have evaluating the part of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, we commonly called as NATO, and their progress over the year and its future with the regards to the conflict of interest. Right, so the member countries have participated in a place called Vilnius. By its name, this has been renamed as Vilnius Summit, and some progress on the part of the global order had discussed. Now, it's a quite few years, many questions were asked about the relevance of the NATO, that is North Atlantic Treaty Organization. So how was the summit different from the previous summit which took place in Madrid? So if you look at the part for the summit that took place in Vilnius, so this attended by the Ukrainian president, and he has anticipated that there can be possibility of extending the NATO membership. But in this summit, there was no clarity on the part of Ukraine joining the NATO members. No, NATO as a permanent member. In this regard, the launch of NATO Ukraine Council as a forum for the crisis consultations and decision making have indicated that Ukraine, for not being inducted in the alliance by creating mechanism for wider engagement, support future inclusions as a full-time member. So there has been norms and rules and procedure that consensus from all members are essentially required to induct any member, a new member, right? From Ukrainian perspective, Vilnius Summit has asserted the possibility of little immediate gain, और कुछ 3 priorities रखी गई थी यूक्रेन की तरफ से, that was the new weapon package, security guarantees and invitations to join NATO. Now significance की अगर बात करें, significance in terms of entry for a new member, recently you must have come across the news that Finland has been approved of the Sweden as a NATO member for a few things. And first it signaled that alliance continued to be the part of under Article 10 of the Washington Treaty, which is there in 1949, which called for the states member can avoided by the European Union countries, और जो members है European Union के वो actually invite करते हैं, consensus build होने के बाद उनकी membership को approve किया जाता है. In the rest, Ukraine The part of the potential which is there for the membership, fertile ground and conceptually deter the Russias from taking step against the NATO. See, there's a pressure, that is an inherent pressure from Russia also, but basically when Western countries has actually supported Ukraine, but the complete membership, the unanimity is not there for the induction of Ukraine as a NATO member. Now, secondly, Turkey is scaling back to the long-standing position to Sweden inclusions was also a significant on the part of the recent meeting. Now, कुछ और emerging issues की अगर बात करें जो recent summit हुई थी, Vilnius summit that has meant no words and challenges and threat emerging from the China's ambitious and cohesive policies. So basically, they would be not looking forward कि Asian countries में, even for the part of the South Asian countries, the China's dominance need to be curbed down. ये भी एक motive रही है. The NATO faced threat from the China's malicious hybrid cyber operations, and even confrontation is a rhetoric, which is a disinformation which is specifically aimed the NATO allies to pose threat from the security of its alliances. Now, NATO summit emphasizes on the part of development, जहाँ पे Indo-Pacific को लेकर के भी बातें की गई हैं. The concern has been there for the Indo-Pacific, be it the important forum like Quad, और even India ने भी important जगहों पे जो Indo-Pacific है उसमें न्यूट्रलिटी की बात कही है. So this has been increasingly with the concentration of the Euro-Atlantic security by expanding space of the Quad countries along with the part of the countries like New Zealand and South Korea. Now moving ahead with other news, that is Henley Passport Index 2023, something important for General Studies paper 2, that is important international institution, agencies, structure and their mandate. So according to the latest Henley Passport Report 2023, this is the latest report, India की ranking के बारे में बताई गई है, which has improved, and this is position at 80th position, 5 position above which was there in 2022, right? So India is now the passport and the part of the visa which is there now. Individual carrying India visa can have destinations of 57 that they can travel free, basically free on visa arrival. That is a point. And the country which is ranked among the superior has close to 192 country permissions. I'll tell you details about that as well. So India की अगर ranking की बात करें, this is a tie with the Togo and Senegal. The part of the Henry Passport Index that rank all the world passport according to the number of destinations and access without prior visa. तो कई ऐसे कंट्रीज हैं जो स्पेसिफिक कंट्रीज के वीजा होने पे अपने कंट्रीज में परमिशन अलाउ करते हैं विदाउट एनी प्रायर वीजा अप्रूवल, राइट? सो द इंडेक्सेस इंक्लूड 199 पासपोर्ट एंड 227 ट्रैवल डेस्टिनेशंस. ओपननेस इंडेक्स इसकी एक इंपॉर्टेंट कंपोनेंट है. सो दे हैव रिलीज्ड द पार्ट which rank the countries based on the visa free access and provide international travelers. तो कई ऐसे कंट्रीज हैं जिनकी वीजा अराइवल बेसिकली फ्री होती है अगर आपने उस कंट्री की पासपोर्ट या फिर वीजा होल्ड किया हुआ है. अलॉन्ग विद दैट इंडिया में अगर बात करें द कंट्रीज, इंडिया अलॉन्ग विद लीबिया, भूटान, अंटीगा, इक्वेटोरियल गिनी is the second last spot that provide free visa arrival for the passport holder for only 5 countries, right? At the bottom, Afghanistan, North Korea, Guinea, Turkmenistan, and the part is something that call for no visa access to the passport. Now, where Indian can travel free with the part of the things which is there, if you look at the part, अगर बात करें इंडियन की जो पासपोर्ट, इंडिया की जो वीज़ा है वो किन किन कंट्रीज़ में अलाउड करती हैं. सो एज पर द Henley Passport Index, the Indian passport holders can travel a total of 57 countries. In countries में included है Iran, Jordan, Oman, Qatar, Middle East, Bolivia, El Salvador and South America. So all list of 51 or 57 countries are mentioned. You can pause this video, you can read out the complete name. Some of the other important countries include the part of Myanmar, Nepal, Maldives, श्रीलंका, थाईलैंड, ये ऐसे कंट्रीज हैं जिनके पास इंडियन पासपोर्ट है. दे कैन ट्रेवल दिस कंट्री विदाउट वीजा एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड वीजा ऑन अराइवल फैसिलिटीज. स्ट्रॉन्गेस्ट पासपोर्ट ग्लोबली की अगर बात करें, सिंगापुर हैज टॉप्ड द रैंक. आई विल शो यू अ ग्राफ इमेजेस दैट विल हेल्प यू अंडरस्टैंड थिंग्स इन अ बेटर मैनर. सो सिंगापुर की जो रैंकिंग है वो फर्स्ट है अमंग ऑल द कंट्रीज एंड ऑफिंग द जापान. Singapore passport provide visa free travel to 192 countries. This is among the highest, right? उसके अलावा और कंट्रीज की बात करें, जर्मनी, इटली, स्पेन हैव मूव टू सेकेंड रेट, जहाँ पे इन कंट्रीज के पासपोर्ट को 190 डेस्टिनेशंस में अलाउ किया गया है, राइट? सो दीज आर द पार्ट ऑफ द डिटेल्स. इफ यू वांट टू लुक एट द पार्ट ऑफ द रैंकिंग, आई विल शो यू समथिंग. This is for Singapore, which allow 192 countries. Germany की बात करें 190 countries. Italy again ranked second with 190 countries permissions. This is a permission of the countries that you can visit with a particular passport and a visa. So again Spain go for 190 and these are for 189 for Australia. ये list काफी लंबी. If you want to check, you can directly refer to the website of the part of the index that has been released, right? Now the India के पास 80 ranking है और 57 countries allowed है. Single again 80, 57 countries. Togo, these are the tie between India and other countries with 57 destination allowed. Now moving to the other news, that is rules related to the retirement benefits of IAS, IPS and Indian Forest Services. Something important for General Studies paper 2, that is the government policies and intervention for the development of various sectors and issues arising from its design and implementations. So central government has amended the rule relating to the retirement benefit for the All India Services, Administrative Services, Indian Police Services and Indian Forest Services के जो pensioners हैं. Now even central government के पास अब ये power होगी to hold or withdraw the part of the pension which is given by the state government if they found of any misconduct or grave situation or convicted in a serious crime. अगर रिटायरमेंट के बाद आपको पेंशन मिल रही है और आप किसी हीनियस क्राइम में या कोई ऐसे क्राइम में जो कि स्टेट के अगेंस्ट होती है तो आपकी पेंशन को रोक दिया जाएगा. दिस इज व्हाट द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट हैज कम अप विद द न्यू रूल. सी देयर कैन बी अदर डिबेट दैट व्हाई एन इंडिविजुअल हु इज सर्वाइविंग ऑन द पेंशनर मनी, व्हाई गवर्नमेंट इज कमिंग विद सच हार्श रूल्स. बट अगेन this is again a debatable part of the topic that I'm not stretching down, but as with your wisdom you can have a neutral approach in the examination. Now this rule means the center may not avail the wait, जो वेटिंग टाइम होती थी सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से स्टेट गवर्नमेंट की परमिशंस लेने की, वो उसके लिए आप वेट नहीं करना होगा. द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट विल बी द अथॉरिटी जहाँ पे अगर किसी कोर्ट ने किसी इंडिविजुअल को कन्विक्ट किया है, किसी पेंशनर्स को, तो उसकी पेंशंस को सीधे सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट एब्रोगेट कर सकती है, खत्म कर सकती है. नाउ अमेंडमेंट रूल की अगर बात करें, द जुलाई 6 नोटिफिकेशन विच वाज देयर फॉर द ऑल इंडिया सर्विसेज दैट कम रिटायरमेंट बेनिफिट्स. अमेंडमेंट रूल जो डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ पर्सनल और ट्रेनिंग की तरफ से रेगुलेट की जाती है, दे हैव सेड दैट ग्रेव मिसकंडक्ट इंक्लूड द कम्युनिकेशंस और डिस्क्लोजर ऑफ एनी डॉक्यूमेंट और इंफॉर्मेशन मेंशन इन द ऑफिशियल सीक्रेट एक्ट. सीरियस क्राइम इंक्लूडिंग द क्राइम इन्वॉल्विंग ऑफेंस अंडर द ऑफिशियल सीक्रेट एक्ट. तो कोई भी क्राइम जो ऑफिशियल सीक्रेट एक्ट के अंदर की जाती है, दैट विल बी कंसिडर्ड एज अ क्राइम एंड द कैंसिलेशंस ऑफ द पेंशंस एंड अदर बेनिफिट विल बी देयर फॉर द इंडिविजुअल. Sources in the government have pointed out that कि जो rule 3 subsections 3 हैं with regards to the rules that is mentioned in 1958 have stated that the central government may withhold the part of the pension and even reference to the state government concerned after retirement of the prisoners is convicted. तो अगर कोई convictions होती हैं तभी उस conditions में भी रोक दी जाएगी. The sources in the DOPT means that the center may not opt to wait for a reference or permissions from the central, basically state government, and a pensioner if found guilty can be convicted. Basically ये वही point है जो मैंने आपको पहले बताया. Rationale behind the move, why government has come up with this changes which has been brought in. The rationale is that the amendment was brought by the state government sometimes which concerned with the same reference against the retired individual. Applicability की अगर बात करें, जो इंडिविजुअल डेपुटेशंस पे ऑल इंडिया सर्विसेज में रहे हैं उन लोगों को भी ये एप्लीकेबल होगा. एंड इवन द वेस्ट बंगाल गवर्नमेंट हैज अ लॉगरहेड विद 2 years गो विद द प्रायर टू दैट. तो हर गवर्नमेंट की अपनी अपनी परमिशंस होती थी विच क्रिएटिंग अ लॉट मोर प्रॉब्लम फॉर द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट टू प्रोसीड फर्दर. कंसिडरिंग ऑल नेचर फॉर द ऑल इंडिया सर्विसेज, द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट इज ऑफन हेल्पलेस इन टेकिंग द एक्शन बिकॉज the part of the reference or recommendations were not there from the state government. So this make things more trouble for the union government. Now the rule which has been amended make the central government whole sole authority. The amendment rule reiterate the part of the central government withdrawal without the pension, that shall be fine. Now, moving ahead, that the status of nursing colleges in district across India, something important for General Studies paper 2, that is the issues related to development and management of education and human resources. So, according to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, there are no nursing colleges in the 40% of the district across the country. This is the astonishing fact. The directly number has been reported from the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Now, India has 35 lakh of nurses, but only 2.6 nurses to every 1,000 people are there. This ratio is pretty low compared to many other countries. So we need to improve on the part of the ratio which is there for the nurses in the country. Now, the government interventions की अगर बात करें, center has attempted the correction for the regional disparity with the scheme to correlate the part of the nursing colleges. Medical colleges by April 2025 provided short-term nursing courses. However, कुछ ऐसे states हैं जिन्होंने पूरी तरह से fund को utilize करने में they have not been able success to make the part of the progress. And even nursing services is the backbone for any medical establishment. If you look at the part after the part with most of the things which is taken care by doctors and authorities, nurses are the backbone and pillar of the hospital. The central government has announced that the scheme to be set up in 157 nursing colleges, which provide that in next 2 years there will be financial support for each colleges with 10 crore of the rupees. Growth of the institutions की अगर बात करें, there has been 36% growth in numbers. अगर undergraduate educations की बात करें since 2014-15, this result to 40% growth in the nursing seat, which has been sleek within the statics. About 64% of the nursing workforce are currently trained in 8 states. तो कुछ specific area में ये mushroom कर रही हैं, which is like 42% concentrated on the area of Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu and Telangana, while 17% are in the western state of Rajasthan, Gujarat, and Maharashtra, and only 2% of the nursing colleges are there in the northeastern states. WHO की क्या report है इससे related? According to WHO, approximately 27% or 27 million men and women are making up of the global nursing and midwifery workforce, accounting for 50% of the global health workforce. And global shortage की अगर बात करें, in particular nurses, midwifery part, WHO represents that 50% is the current health worker, and the largest shortage for the nurses and the midwife courses are there in the Southeast Asia and African countries. Now, moving ahead with the editorial of the day, that is a job and a career right that disabled cannot be denied, something important for General Studies paper 2, that is the welfare schemes for the vulnerable section of the population by the center and the state government. So what are the issues and theme under this editorial? So talking about the theme and the focus of this article, that is about the job and career rights for disabled. We'll look into the part of important issues like reservation of seats for disabled, an integral part for reservations, counter action contempt filing, government responses, and the way forward. Now, human rights are the fundamental right or the basic right which should not be taken away by any individual or the government. So this is what the Constitution of India has categorically mentioned. And even the person with disability, उनके लिए एक special rule लेकर के government आई थी, that is Equal Opportunities Protection of Right Full Participation Act 1955, जिसे PW Act भी कहते हैं. This was the first recognized right given to disabled to empower them and give them government job, which is an equivalent to the part of other categories of the student. Now, reservation of seats की अगर बात करें for differently abled or disabled की, तो गवर्नमेंट ने इंश्योर किया था कि PW एक्ट के थ्रू 3% ऑफ रिजर्वेशंस दी जाएंगी, एंड द रिजर्वेशन ऑफ द सीट फॉर द डिसेबल्ड एग्जिस्ट ओनली इन ग्रुप सी एंड ग्रुप डी. तो इनिशियली ग्रुप सी और ग्रुप डी में अलाउ की जाती थी with the introduction of PWD categories which was there in 1955 act, right? Now उसके बाद इसे extend की गई group A और group B services में, which is considered to be a progressive state, but ये बहुत टाइम तक continue नहीं रह पाई, इसे 2005 में abrogate किया गया. I'll tell you that. Now it also affects the percentage that 3% of the seats should be there for the part of the establishment which is belonging to the category of disabled. Now, an integral part of reservations की अगर बात करें, reservation for the disabled and promotion in all group was first interpreted as an integral part for the reservation by the Department of Personnel and Training in 1998. तो गवर्नमेंट ने एक ऑर्डर इशू किया था 1998 में, आफ्टर विच द थिंग्स हैज चेंज एंड इट हैपेंस दैट द पार्लियामेंट इनैक्टेड द प्रोविजंस ऑफ रिजर्वेशन फॉर द प्रमोशन ऑफ शेड्यूल्ड कास्ट एंड शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब, एसटीज एंड एससी के लिए, रिवर्सिंग द सुप्रीम कोर्ट वर्डिक्ट जहाँ पे इंदिरा स्वानी के केसेस में वर्सेस यूनियन ऑफ इंडिया में रिजर्वेशन ऑफ प्रमोशंस की बात की गई थी, उसे विड्रॉन करने की बातें कही गई थी. Now, unfortunately, the Department of Personnel and Training in its order withdrew the reservation disablement for the promotions in Group A and Group B services. But department ने ये reveal किया that department has actually reversed their own decision, which not only was shocking but also clearly affect as a part of hostile attitudes towards the administrative government and needs to be aspirations for the disabled. तो जब Group B and Group A के services में basically जो orders थे वो reverse की गई, so this has impacted a lot many differently abled people. Counter action और counter flipping की अगर बात करें, counter action and contempt flipping. So the part of the Supreme Court in 2008 एक case file की गई थी by Rajiv Gupta against the Union of India, and this was a hearing which continued for 8 years, which called for adjudicating the part of reservations specifically for disabled or differently abled in Group A and Group B services, right? तो DOPT को जो पुरानी ऑर्डर 2005 में जहाँ पे उन्होंने कैंसिल की थी उसके खिलाफ अपील फाइल की थी. The final judgment was made in 2016 granting reservation for the promotion of Group A and Group B services by Honorable Supreme Court. But Government of India ने अभी तक इसे recognize नहीं किया है और इस डायरेक्शन में कोई further development नहीं हुई. So Mr. Gupta, the Rajiv Gupta has also contempted the basically उन्होंने contempt का भी बात कहा 2017 में that की जो कोर्ट की ऑर्डर थी वो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट में नहीं मानी है. So that mounts to the part of contempt of court. Now गवर्नमेंट रिस्पॉन्स की अगर बात करें, गवर्नमेंट ने एक मिसलेनियस एप्लीकेशंस सिविल अपील में दिया था, दैट इज विद द सिद्धा राजू वर्सेस द स्टेट ऑफ कर्नाटका, which was filed by the government in the case for the clarification that was made to implement the part of reservations and promotion for differently abled. But the miscellaneous applications was actually an attempt to delay the part of progress implementation of the reservation promotions in differently abled. The application was subsequently dismissed in 2021. Now, how and what should be done for differently abled people or disabled people so that their rights should also be addressed, and specifically Group A or Group B services की बात करें उनमें इनको भी reservation मिलनी चाहिए, right? So the judiciary has to play an important role in granting the justice for the differently abled people by enacting the new rules or changing the provision in the PW Act of 1995, and even the several court where permissions with the differently able to readdress the grievances should be made available in the meaningful and dignified manner where they should also be appreciated in the society. The right of getting reservations, promotions for the person with disabled could be ensured under Article 16 of the Constitution, and by prolong of the process, the final adjudication is something that is issued by the reservation and promotion of judiciary, only compounding to the government apathy toward disabled person and their right. So this is the time where the judiciary and even the central government can combine their efforts in promoting the part of rights to the differently able and even giving them the promotion in Group and Group B services. Moving ahead with the MCQ questions of the day. Before I proceed, just to tell you the answers of yesterday's questions. For first question, the correct option is A. For second question, the correct option is A. Today's MCQ for practice, आपको बताना है CBDC के बारे में. This is defined as a legal tender by the Reserve Bank of India. Wholesale digital currency is designated to restricted access for the financial institution. Do check out for the correct option. Second is about the International Conference of Elections Management Bodies 2022. It was hosted by the Minister of Statistical and Program Implementation. It is under the aegis of United Nations Summit Democracy Platform. So do check out for the correct option. Practicing a lot more kind of a question will give you an edge over the upcoming prelims examination. And this was all about for the today's session. If you have any queries about admissions, test series and courses, you can reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist you. For time being, I'm signing off. Thank you so much for watching this video.